Hello, and welcome back to English Mastery Hub and our series Study English with Me. My name is Karen, and you are in Karen's Corner. Our slogan for this series is a comment which was captured by a very famous person, Albert Einstein, who said, "A man who never makes a mistake never tries anything new." And we don't want that to be you, do we? So, if you find yourselves making mistakes in English, which is absolutely normal, dust yourself off, get up, and start again. We want to walk this journey to success with you. Having said that, I hope by now that you are familiar with the layout of our website and that you too are making use of the awesome courses and tools that are available to you absolutely for free. So for today's lesson, I want us to go to tips and tools, and the second feature, browse the web and expand your vocabulary. So if we click on that feature, it looks like this. Browse a website. Keep exploring English with the English Mastery Hub Magic Dictionary. Learn new words right on your favorite website. And there is a list of different websites that you can use. For example, the website that I have chosen has the URL bbc.co.uk, and this is about news from mainly Britain, but also from around the world. So if you click on Browse, you will open up this website, and the article that I have chosen for today is known as, let me just scroll this back, is known as "I can't afford to move out of my parents' house due to rising living costs." How many of you can relate to that statement? And this affects young people not only in the UK, but all around the world. And that's why I thought this was a very relevant article for us to address today. I want you to employ the technique of shadowing, and I was very happy the other day to listen to a learned person on the TV extolling the virtues of shadowing, saying how successful shadowing was in helping you to learn a new language and, importantly, to be able to pronounce the words correctly. So, as I read, please mouth along silently to yourself, and then we will address the vocabulary after we have finished reading the article. So here we have the lady who was the subject of this article. Leonie Clancy and her boyfriend had saved for years to be able to move out of their parents' homes and into their first rental property together. But 9 months later, all their savings had disappeared on living costs, and they moved back home. The 21-year-old is now sharing a bedroom with her 10-year-old sister. Leonie is one of a growing number of young people who now say it is the rising costs of running a home that means they can't afford to buy or rent their own place. Industry experts warn. 9 out of 10 young adults living with parents in the UK would face costs of nearly half their income if they moved out. Figures from property and finance firm the Skipton Group suggest. While she gets on well with her mum and her sister, Leonie says it just doesn't feel like it's my place. It's not great in terms of not being able to see my partner, not having the life that we had, having to take that massive step back from the independence that I had. I just don't think it's fair. But she felt she had no choice. Being able to afford running a home, it's just insane, she says. When I first moved in, I did have some savings ready, but by the time we'd moved out, they'd gone. I'd say my main problems were the utilities, council tax, and rent, she says. Adults living with parents. In 2011, there were 4.2 million adults living with parents while not in education or caring for a relative. But by 2021, that figure had risen to 4.9 million, according to the Office for National Statistics. Skipton Group commissioned research for its biannual Home Affordability Index, compiled by Oxford Economics. It uses Office for National Statistics and house price data alongside a survey of 2,000 adults who are living with their parents to help understand why. The data shared exclusively with the BBC suggested nearly 98% of adults living with their parents could not afford to pay what the average first-time buyer pays for a house in their area. And even if they could afford a deposit, 9 out of 10 would face mortgage or rent payments, council tax, utility bills, insurance, and maintenance costs that would use up nearly half of their income. If they bought a flat, that figure falls to 8 in 10. These calculations are based on one person buying alone and in the same local authority as their parents. Stuart Hare, chief executive of the Skipton Group, says many young people move out nearby to stay close to their workplaces and friendship networks. My heart goes out to them. I think it's a lost opportunity and one that we really need to address, he says. The report also highlights the financial impact for parents, as there can be a significant loss of income if parents can't move to a smaller property because older children are still living at home. Now, the article does go on about same costs on lower wages and also cost of living, tackling it together, ways to afford your own place. So let's just quickly look at those as a positive spin on this. Consider buying with a sibling or a friend rather than just a partner. Some lenders have products that mean you don't pay anything on your mortgage for the first couple of months to help you over the rest of your moving costs. If you open a lifetime ISA before you're 40, you can use it to save for a deposit. The government will add a 25% bonus to your savings up to a maximum of £1,000 per year. That's good to know. Have a look at shared ownership. You don't have to share with anyone. Instead, it means you buy the property. A share of the property and pay rent to a landlord on the rest. That I've never heard of. In Wales, you may qualify for a loan to help with the cost of a new build home if you are a first-time buyer. So those give you some tips on how to get over the problem. Right, scrolling back in our article, I want to mention our wonderful glossary. So the glossary is something that you can use, I use it as my personal dictionary. The glossary is found here under the control panel, my glossary. And the way it works on an article is when you are reading an article and you want to look up a particular word that you're not sure of the meaning of, just click once on the article and up will open the glossary. And insane, it tells you how to pronounce it. It gives you synonyms for the word. And this is, we would say in common terms, mad. Insane, not sane. So this is an adjective. And what is the cause of the insanity? And it is used to talk about people that might be in an insane asylum, or what is causing insanity, madness. Now we have a translation here where you can translate all this into your home language, whatever that may be, and in this way become more familiar with the meaning of the words. And that you can do on every single article that you read on our website. Now, once you have compiled your glossary, you can, I'm just going to open this tab, go to Control Panel, open my glossary, and this is my personal dictionary. So it has a daily tracker of words that I've learned, words that I'm familiar with, and words that are in daily use. And you don't have to even find the words on English Mastery Hub. You can merely add words that you come across in a newspaper, on a TV program. You can add these words into your personal glossary and expand your vocabulary. Now, once you've done that, there is another tool that I want to show you, and that is below the glossary. It is called My Stories. My Stories is a tool that you can use to create individual stories from the words that you have in your glossary. So let's try something. Create a. Okay, let's take 100-word article about education by using random words from Just Learned. The words. And create your story. Please select an item in the list. Okay, where was that? About. Create a hunt. Oh, I left those out. At an A, oh, we better make it a C1 to C2 level. And a story. So I'd left those out. We have to fill them in by using, let's be kind, 5 words from the Just Learned and create your story. And this creates a story made purposefully for you. And so you can go down there and let's look at this story. So let's open this story and see. No, it's clicking on one word. In an era dominated by technology, society had become a hodgepodge of innovation and individualism. People, often narcissistic in their pursuit of digital validation, forgot the subtleties of traditional etiquette. Desperation to be seen drove individuals to craft perfect online personas, meticulously creating every image and word. Yet beneath this polished veneer lay a collective yearning for genuine connection with other people. Those adept in navigating this digital landscape thrived thrive, seamlessly blending technological prowess with authentic human interaction. Others floundered, trapped in the superficial glow of screens. Despite technological advances, the fundamental need for empathy and understanding remained ever present in the human experience. What a fantastic story! Now, obviously, this story is at a C2 level because I am challenging myself by putting words that are quite advanced into my vocabulary. If you create your own stories, you will see it's at a much more manageable level. But isn't that a fun tool to use? And you can create these stories, listen to them, read them, and save them. And that's really a fun way of learning new words. Having said that, let's go back to our article. And the words I want to focus on today, and I'm hoping you will be able to pick them out with me, are some of my favorites in the English language. And these are phrasal verbs. So, move out is a phrasal verb. Moved back is another phrasal verb. So we had moved out, moved back. Let's see, we had moved back there, gets on, another phrasal verb, and step back is another phrasal verb. Moved in is another phrasal verb. Moved out. So you can see there are lots of phrasal verbs in this article. And if you want to know more about phrasal verbs, go to our grammar book, open the grammar book, and on slide 123, you will find phrasal verbs. Scroll down to find out what phrasal verbs are. So phrasal verbs is a verb plus a particle, which can be a preposition, in, on, up, or an adverb, and like moved back. The meaning often changes from the original verb, and I think that's why I love them, because it's some sort of a quiz. You can have turned off the light. This is a separable phrasal verb, which means that you can put the object between the two words. Or you have inseparable phrasal verbs, to look after someone. You cannot say look someone after. There is examples. I gave up smoking means I stopped smoking. Can you pick up the phone? Can you answer the phone? She ran into an old friend. She met an old friend, maybe in town. And then below that, we have a conversation with different phrasal verbs used and a story where the words are highlighted in bold. And this is a great fun way to learn phrasal verbs. So do remember that and come back to the phrasal verbs, because you can see idioms and phrasal verbs are things that we use often in English, and therefore they make you closer to being a native speaker when you can use them confidently. Thank you for sticking with me in today's session, and I trust that you benefited from it. I hope to see you again next week when we continue our journey in studying English with me.